You think you're doing everything right. You eat your veggies. You walk a little each day. Maybe you take your supplements and try to stay positive. But what if I told you there's one thing missing? One habit, often ignored by women over 60, that quietly determines whether your next decade will be full of vitality or filled with limitations. Because after 70, certain doors start to close. You recover more slowly. You become more prone to falls. Your independence, something you've always taken for granted, can begin to slip away. And yet, this isn't about fear. This is about power. The kind of power you can build right now with a habit so simple. It might surprise you. It's not a supplement. It's not another cardio routine. And it's not too late, no matter how old you are right now. In fact, the most important thing you can do for your body before turning 70 is build muscle. Specifically, strength training. Not for looks, not for weight loss, but because strength training is the one habit that protects everything that matters most as you age. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to get it back. But here's the good news. If you start now, even small, the benefits are life-changing. And in the next few minutes, you'll understand exactly why. But keep watching to the end, because what I'll reveal later might just change the way you look at aging, forever. Let me ask you something. Have you ever stood up from a chair and noticed it was just a little harder than it used to be? Not painful, just harder. That small shift might seem harmless until it isn't, because behind the scenes, something critical is happening. After age 50, women begin to lose up to 1% of muscle mass every year. After menopause, that number doubles. By 70, you may have lost up to 30% of your strength without even realizing it. And when your strength fades, so does your mobility, your balance, your metabolism, and even your confidence. This is called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, and it's one of the most overlooked threats to women's health after 60. But why don't doctors talk about it more? Because we've been taught that aging means shrinking, slowing down, accepting limitations. But that's not the truth. There's something you can do, starting today, that not only stops this decline, it actually reverses it. And it begins with a single habit: strength training. Don't worry. I'm not talking about lifting heavy weights in a gym full of grunting bodybuilders. I'm talking about strength training that fits your life. Gentle, effective, empowering. And in just a minute, I'll show you how it boosts your bones, your balance, your brain, and so much more. But first, let's talk about why it matters now. Before you turn 70, think of your strength like a savings account. In your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you built it up, sometimes without even trying. Your daily life kept you active. But after menopause, you start making withdrawals faster than you think. The problem? Most women don't notice the balance dropping until they try to do something simple, like carrying a suitcase, getting off the floor, balancing while stepping into the tub. Suddenly, everyday tasks feel harder, and once your strength dips below a certain point, it becomes much harder to rebuild. That's why your 60s are so important. This is your moment to invest in your body, to build a reserve of strength that protects your future self. Not just to avoid decline, but to do more of what you love. Gardening, travel, playing with your grandkids, moving with ease, without fear. And here's the best part. You don't need hours in a gym. You don't need big weights or complicated machines. You just need to start and stay consistent. And we're just getting started. Because the next benefit? It might surprise you. But before we go on, if you're finding value in this kind of real, empowering health advice for women over 60, please hit that subscribe button. It's completely free and it helps you stay informed and inspired every week. Let's keep going, because this next part might just be the most important. What's the #1 reason women over 65 end up in the hospital? It's not heart attacks, not cancer, not stroke, it's falls. Falls that break hips, fracture wrists, shatter confidence, and change lives overnight. But here's what most people don't realize. Falls aren't just caused by slippery floors or clumsy steps. They're caused by weak muscles. Muscles that can't stabilize you. Muscles that can't react quickly. Muscles that were never trained to support your balance. And once you fall, recovery is slow. Pain becomes chronic. Your world gets smaller. But strength training, it strengthens your legs, your core, your reflexes. In fact, studies show that women who strength train just twice a week improve balance by up to 40%, reduce fall risk by 30 to 50%, and regain confidence in how they move. That's freedom. And speaking of freedom, let's talk about metabolism and why it's not your fault if you're gaining weight. You eat the same, you move the same, and somehow your waistline keeps growing. It's not just menopause, it's not just aging, it's muscle loss. Muscle is your body's calorie-burning engine. Lose muscle, and your metabolism slows to a crawl. That's why losing weight after 60 feels impossible. And when women diet without strength training, they lose even more muscle and gain the weight back faster. But when you lift weights, you protect your muscle, you boost your metabolism, and your body starts burning fat again, even at rest. You don't have to train like an athlete. You just have to wake your muscles up, and the benefits don't stop at the body. They go straight to the mind. Ever walk into a room and forget why you're there? Struggle to remember a word that was just on the tip of your tongue? It's normal, but it doesn't have to be inevitable. Strength training has been shown to improve memory, mood, and brain function. Women over 60 who lift weights regularly perform better on cognitive tests, report less depression, and even show slower brain aging on MRI scans. Why? Because movement increases blood flow, oxygen, neuroplasticity. Your brain comes alive when your body moves with purpose. And that purpose, it's yours to create. Now let's talk about something even more invisible, but just as important: your bones. 1 in 2 women over 50 will break a bone due to osteoporosis. Let that sink in. And most don't even know they have it until after the break. But here's what can prevent it. Lifting. Lifting sends a message to your bones. Stay strong. Stay dense. Stay alive. Strength training not only prevents bone loss, it can actually reverse it. And it improves your posture, your spinal alignment, your confidence when you walk into a room. That kind of strength, it's visible and invisible at the same time. So, how do you start? You don't need a gym. You don't need big weights. You don't even need to sweat. You need a chair, a wall, a resistance band, and a few light dumbbells. Start with sit to stand squats, wall push-ups, arm curls with water bottles, heel raises at the kitchen counter, 2 to 3 times a week, just 15 to 30 minutes, at your own pace. If you can be consistent, even once a week, you will feel the difference within a month. And if you're still unsure, there are senior-friendly trainers, free videos online, and whole communities of women just like you starting this journey. But what happens if you don't start? By 70, everyday tasks feel heavier. By 75, falls become more common. By 80, you may rely on someone else just to get dressed. That's not what you want, and it's not your only option. Because if you start today, just a little, you change everything. You walk taller, move easier, sleep better, think clearer. That's not hype. That's biology. And most importantly, it's your decision. Aging is inevitable. But decline, that's optional. You have more power than you've been told, and strength training is the key that unlocks that power. So, please, if this video helped you in any way, tap that like button. Leave a comment to share where you're starting from, and don't forget to subscribe, because we're building something beautiful here. A community of strong, wise, powerful women over 60, taking charge of their health and future. And if you're ready to keep going, I've got another video waiting for you right now. You are not fragile, you are powerful. And this is just the beginning.